Hello.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? Everybody coming on in. I guess they want to know what a map is. So
Oh yeah, of course.
they see that like, what the hell? A map. A map is a piece of paper or some information that teaches you how to get from A to B.
Nah, a map is a motherfucker that's out of his mind, his or her mind. I'm sure there are, Oh man, yeah, we'll talk about that. Nambla. Them motherfuckers is wild too, man. It's so much of that crazy shit. But the main focus will be essentially paraphilias, which we'll talk about that in a second. Ah man.
You just realized, right?
Yeah, I didn't
going in, right?
Look, man, I done already cussed, I didn't mean it.
It's all good. We get the strike. It's a strike.
I didn't mean it. We'll edit it out.
It's a strike that you earned.
Well,
You earned it.
I'm good at what I do.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of CMCT. My name is Troy Skinner. I am your host. Next to me is my co-host, the man with the plan, the only man that can stand in the face of anything and everything.
I was just following the rhythm.
It was a good rhythm.
Antonio
Dean. Guys, welcome back. I know we have had some time off through different situations. We're going to discuss tonight, of course, what's going to be going on with our platform. We've had some changes in the past couple of months. We're still waiting on getting everything situated with our location. But more importantly, lately, I have a confession to make. We have a confession to make. And no, it's not anything pertaining to tonight's show. Neither one of us are philia men or maps, for that matter. Far from it.
I have woman philia. That's about
it. We've been dealing primarily with the weather, man. The weather's been hurting us in a way that I don't think we had expected it.
Yeah, no, weather is very unpredictable right now.
Yeah, and when we say, the weather, obviously we're in a protected place from the elements. That's not the weather thing that's bothering us. What's been bothering us is sinus issues, tremendous sinus issues where we're in the South, so when it rains and a mixture of pollen and the drastic changes of the weather temperature, it affects us tremendously. Sometimes to where we don't even want to leave the house, can't get up. And I'm dealing with it now. He's dealing with it now. And so it kind of has thrown us off a couple of times in regards to shows that we wanted to do last week.
Some people like Percocets. I like decongestants.
Sudafed.
Nah, I won't say Sudafed.
You don't like Sudafed?
Well, that's leaning more towards meth.
Is it really? I wouldn't know that.
It's a good base.
I think I may have heard something like that. I know that certain cold drugs that they use.
There's a particular chemical in Sudafed that lends its best quality to produce a methamphetamine.
Damn. Jesus, man. TMI, man.
Well,
I'm feeling a little bit sore, man. I've been finally lifting consistently, man. Y'all gotta understand, when I sit next to this man and I see all of this, I'm just like, I gotta get right. So anyway, we've been dealing back and forth with sinuses, and if you've been wondering where we've been and why we've getting ready to do a show and then we cancel it, it's tough sometimes when you're not feeling well to speak cognitively and logically if your mind isn't where it needs to be. Even if we weren't medicated, we're still dealing with the change of the weather, and we're dealing with how we're reacting to it. So sometimes you could feel good in the middle of the day, and then at night it just hits you, bow, or vice versa. So you wait until the last second to say, can we have a show? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Let me see. Let me get another hour and a half of sleep. So we're responding to that in that respect. Thank you guys for missing us and for looking out for us. If you have been looking out for us, we appreciate always anyone who supports and believes in us and everything. So what we're planning on doing, because we want to make sure that we're on a consistent basis with our show and get out of this thing of sketchy days of show times. Is this Thursday will be the end of this season. So we're pretty much breaking up into a season, and we will start another season going into the beginning of fall, end of summer, going into fall. And then we'll get back on the move to have some new shows, new topics, new discussions. Give everybody time to enjoy the summer. Give us time to enjoy the summer.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we're on twice a week, man, and we've been consistent. This is show number 61. Thursday will be show number 62. And so it also gives us time to which we can get our marketing together so that we can get our audience up and get our algorithms going.
He said we can get our monetization together.
There you go. And we can get our monetization together. So that's part of that. Welcome in, everybody. What's going on, B-Ren? One B-Ren. Markel. You know, so guys, we are definitely not going anywhere. We're just going to enjoy our summer. Get out and do some things when we can, when we feel good, because I know a lot of people going through it. Like right now, I'm itching like crazy. I don't know if any of you guys are dealing with it, with where you're at. Yeah, you know, get the hives and the heebie-jeebies. What's going on, brother? So, if you, for those who are interested in the monetization, I'm not saying that right. Say
Monetization.
Monetization. Thank you. When it comes to money, Antonio's the man. When it comes to monetization, if you guys are interested in supporting us, which helps us greatly, you are welcome to go to our link tree.
We do have a link tree.
We have a link tree. It's a really good link tree. Antonio went in and did all the work on it. You can go to our link tree and support us. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I gotta go here. It's a window capture. There we go. Go to our link tree.
That works.
Go to our link tree and you scroll and click. It's the best way to make all of that happen. What's going on with the mouse today? He's just acting funny. Okay, so yeah. So here on our Linktree page, you see, you hit our YouTube. We are streaming on YouTube currently, right now, and you're watching us on Instagram.
And that's CMCT_show on YouTube.
CMCT_show on YouTube. What's going on, Bodies by Christ? How you doing, brother? So here you can see we need some help to get our podcast studio renovated. So you can help us out with that. Click on that. There's different amounts that you can hit in which to donate. Okay? We're currently renovating the building where we operate the podcast. Roof is leaking. It's not leaking at the moment. Well, actually it is.
Or it just rains.
It's raining. And if you know anything about effervescence, then that's what we're dealing with. Anything you can do, it's greatly appreciated and welcomed. We have some different payment amounts. We greatly appreciate that. And then you can book our services. We have a personalized video message, 2 minutes, $20. Therapeutic venting session. You know, when you see therapeutic, you always think massage is coming next. It's $100 an hour.
I will not be massaging anybody for less than $250.
Hey, he got his price, you see? A 20-minute interview on the CMCT podcast, which will be edited and correctly decorated so that way you guys look good. We appreciate that. Okay, so $150 for that. All right? You can Cash App us, you can Venmo us. We have a Patreon, it's just not a lot of stuff up there yet because we've been dealing with this seasonal allergy bull crap. There's our YouTube link. Instagram, obviously, CMCT_show on Instagram. Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Oh man, they're about to take TikTok down. What's going on, Jimmy Walker? How you doing, man?
Ain't nothing about to happen with TikTok.
They did in Montana. They banned it.
Mm-hmm. But those are the Mormon states. Mormon states can do whatever.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Mormon states can do whatever the fuck they want to do. They're billionaires.
Wow.
Trillionaires, really, but
yeah. All right, so guys, what's going on in your side of the world? Wherever you at, everybody that's streaming, what you got going on? Talk to us tonight. Please make sure you chime in, ask questions, help us out with any answers that we may need.
it's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a great night though. Okay, I'm gonna pretty much hand over the reins to Antonio on this because this was a topic that he had hit me with when I was suffering through some severe hives and sinus issues one night.
Well, I came across a very strange motherfucker the other day. I don't remember how, but I did. And I guess we'll start it off with him. But before we do that, let's find out what is a philia,
Yeah.
and then more importantly, what is a paraphilia?
And I'll tell you, man, when I got that text, I could read through the text how it really blew your mind. You know what I'm saying?
The silliness
Yeah.
of the articles.
Yeah.
Because they take it very serious.
Uh-huh.
That is the shit that blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's close that. Close that. Close that. We'll reload that.
Paraphilia.
All right, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can see this big ass screen we got. Kinda. You see what's being broadcasted to the screen.
Yes. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Helps us with the algorithm. Trust me, everybody else on YouTube is struggling to make sure that they got enough followers and people to make their show pop up on the main page.
We want the same thing everybody else.
Yes,
got.
we do. 1,000 followers, please. Let's get that
We want
started
it right now.
Yes, we do. All of our shows are listed too on YouTube. If you missed the show,
We want it yesterday. I said yesterday. Nah, all right. So philia. Denoting fondness, especially an abnormal love for a specified thing. Denoting undue inclination. All right. So, we'll do Merriam-Webster real quick. Or should I? Wikipedia is always on the ball.
Wikipedia does its work.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Wikipedia.
That little bit of money that they be asking for people to pay
couple
off.
pennies. Philia, from ancient Greek. What a surprise! Them weird ass olive oil niggas, you know, or excuse me, grapeseed oil.
Hey, what's up, Lady Muse? Day one.
Let me correct it. Them weird ass grapeseed oil niggas.
Grapeseed oil.
From ancient Greek is one of the 4 ancient Greek words for love.
Oh, so they say.
That's crazy.
Right.
Well, this is great etymology, right? So, I will read that one more time. Philia, from ancient Greek, is one of the 4 ancient Greek words for love. Philia, storge, agape, eros, right? And Aristotle's, help me out, Nico McCain?
No, you're right. Nico McCain.
Nico McCain, ethics. Philia is usually translated as friendship or affection. The complete opposite is called a phobia.
Yes.
So, philia is the exact opposite. My nigga Peterson was going down. Philia is the exact opposite of a phobia. So, I think that puts it in a great perspective for those of us who are educated enough.
Yeah, because if you've ever seen anyone with a phobia, you know they go out of control with it.
They're very irrational.
They're very irrational.
It's an irrational fear.
So, yeah, heightened.
So, in the same respect, essentially a philia is an irrational attraction.
Ooh, good.
Or affinity, or affection for something.
Yes.
All right?
Oh, he's breaking it down. Preach, bro.
Zoom in a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Paraphilia, a condition characterized by abnormal, which in a sense, or is a synonym, or at least adjacent to, irrational. A condition characterized by abnormal sexual desires, typically involving extreme or dangerous activities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
What else y'all got for me? Where's Wikipedia? Yep, right there. Come on, baby. Paraphilia.
Paraphilia.
Wow, did not know this. Paraphilia. Previously known as sexual perversion and sexual deviation.
Say it again.
Paraphilia.
Mm.
Understand how important it is that it was previously known. So they had to create a word for these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
All right? They had the nerve to create a word for these niggas. Mm-hmm. It had to be done. Paraphilia, previously known as sexual perversion and sexual deviation, is the experience of intense sexual arousal to atypical objects, situations, fantasies, behaviors, or individuals. One more time. Paraphilia is the experience of intense sexual arousal to atypical, which means not normal, all right? Things that are averse.
Yes.
Okay?
With the root word
Absolutely. Of intense sexual arousal to atypical objects, situations, fantasies, behaviors, or individuals. It has also been defined as sexual interest in anything other than a consenting human partner. I want to let it breathe a little bit because I need everybody to understand where we're going.
Morally Fly already going in. He said this is what they're trying to do with the robots. Mechaphilia. I said
talk about it, baby. It has also been defined as sexual interest in anything other than a consenting human partner.
Mm.
Causes: sexual attraction. Specialty: psychiatry.
Mm. Mm.
All right. So, yeah, I'll read that. Why not? There is no scientific consensus for any precise border between unusual sexual interests and paraphilic ones. There is an ongoing debate over which, if any, of the paraphilias should be listed in diagnostic manuals, such as the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or the International Classification of Diseases. Mm. That's intense. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. This is a great build-up. I didn't even have to practice this.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
What'd they say?
This nigga Eric, Mexican Eric, he loves tacos. And the food too. Taco philias. You know, let me tell you something. I'm right there with you, man. Me and my brother Eric share a steak philia. I learned how to start cooking steak dealing with this cat who was in the military. Anyway, I'm going to read that one more time because I think it's very paramount that we understand that moving forward. There's an ongoing debate over which, if any, of the paraphilias should be listed in diagnostic manuals. If you don't know what it means to diagnose, think House MD. He was a professional diagnostician. Okay, his main duty was to diagnose what it was that was going on with people. So he is someone who would lend a great deal of his success to a diagnostic manual, all right? AKA different medical books, medical history, different philosophers of medicine, and so forth. If any of the paraphilias should be listed in diagnostic manuals, such as the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, and there's a bunch of shit in there that over time they've been trying to normalize and turn into something that we should all just accept as, you know, pick a fucking word. Or the International Classification of Diseases.
Yeah, they want to make it admirable. It's an admirable thing.
They want to make it something that, you know, we all look over and bypass. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with any of this shit. So, to that, we have a list of paraphilias. However, I'm gonna read the first article that I came across of this wild motherfucker, Edward Smith. Now, I'm sorry if you know, we could have downloaded the pictures earlier, but I forgot to put them on Instagram. But if you're on your phone, go and Google this motherfucker, Edward Smith. Because he got some wild ass pictures on the internet, you know.
And there's always those weird looking cats like that.
Man, strange as
You know what I mean?
hell. Look at this nigga, man. Exhausted. Edward Smith, a self-described mechaphile with his dream lover.
Mm.
And this nigga is hugged up
With a
with a Volkswagen Beetle. Looks like it's a 1960 something.
He's from Washington, and it's got a license plate. It says Aurora. It's Aurora. That's the name of his Volkswagen lover.
I bet it is.
It's crazy.
That's a wild nigga right here. Man who had sex with over 1,000 cars has now settled down with a Volkswagen Beetle.
And remember, it's that attraction to
Irrational.
irrational. Yeah.
Irrational and abnormal.
Something that can hurt you, actually. That's what we said in the first definition.
Absolutely. I'm going to read that one more again. Man who had sex with over 1,000 cars. You know, I like to assume we all, you know, everybody's picking up what the fuck is going on here. Yeah, he is most certainly sticking it in the tailpipe, literally, because I did come across an article after reading this one where they gave a very in-depth tutorial on how to have sex with a vehicle. We don't have time to go over that today, nor do we have any use for that information, so moving right along. This nigga has sex with over 1,000 cars and has now settled down with a Volkswagen Beetle. And when I say nigga, for those of us on Instagram, please understand he is very Caucasian. Right? He is not an actual black person. Over the last 45 years, Edward Smith has bedded. He's bedded nearly 1,000 lovers, but only one has been a person. The rest have been cars. The 62-year-old from Yelm, Washington, United States is a mechaphile, meaning he is sexually attracted to machines.
So that started at 17. He was 17 years old.
Absolutely insane. His unusual conquests have included...
Come on, man.
His unusual conquests have included roaring Mustangs, luxury Jaguars, and even attack helicopters. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
You know, whatever gets the motor running for some of us. You know,
Revving. Whatever revs you up.
yeah. You know, he says some guys look at boobs and bums on beautiful women. And for those of us who are not familiar with the slang of the UK, a bum is a butt.
Mm-hmm.
So some guys look at boobs and butts on beautiful women. I look at the front and rear on beautiful cars.
Well, tell you what, judging by how the new Lexus grills are looking,
Yeah, you know what I mean? They don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. Oh man. Bro, yeah, we'll talk about that if we get time too. Edward, who first became attracted to machines in his teens, went on to bonk. That hella funny.
Hey Claudia, how you doing? Welcome into the show.
Welcome, Claudia.
Yeah.
Edward, who first became attracted to machines in his teens, went on to bonk hundreds of vehicles, and at his peak was having sex with one a week. A true stud.
Yeah, right.
A real stallion, this guy. Right?
A Mustang.
Yeah, you know. But his joyriding days, they were wild for that. That's funny.
Joyriding.
That's a hell of a pun.
You said the Mirror article. You said it.
That was a hell of a pun.
And it's a chick that wrote this, right?
Yep, sure was. But his joyriding days are now over, and he has committed himself to a long-term lover, Vanilla, a second-hand Volkswagen Beetle he bought 30 years ago. He got somebody's sloppy seconds.
Wow.
That's crazy. It is an open relationship, and Edward also makes love to his 1973 Opel GT called Cinnamon and an 1193 Ford Ranger called Splash. You know what I mean? Look, check the world out. That's all I'm saying. Look at what the world is going through right now.
Living next door to you.
Yeah. But you know, old heads are crazy.
What's going
Motherfuckers
on?
from these last generations are losing their minds at what the world is turning into right now. You know, I'm gonna read that one more time. But his joyriding days are over, and he has committed himself to long-term lover Vanilla, a second-hand Volkswagen Beetle he bought 30 years ago. It is an open relationship, and Edward also makes love to his 1973 Opel GT called Cinnamon and an 1193 Ford Ranger called Splash. But Vanilla is the one, and Edward likes to woo the white-colored hatchback with picnics and wine-fueled dates. He added, when I hold Vanilla in my arms, there's a powerful energy that comes from her. I would say it is extremely satisfying, but at times a little melancholy because I know she cannot talk to me.
So tired.
But overall, I know she feels what I feel, and it's intense. He added, if anything was to happen to her, I would be more than heartbroken. But Edward wasn't always so open, and admits it was a struggle coming to terms with his feelings as a teenager. He remembers first cuddling and kissing a model James Bond Aston Martin as a youngster, before finally losing his virginity to a neighbor's Volkswagen Beetle. You know what I'm saying? Eric said, Mexican Eric said, that oil spill was there before I got there.
Oh, gross.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I'll read that one more again. We move forward. I'm really sorry if you're not on YouTube so you can see the pictures of this goofy motherfucker right here. He remembers first cuddling and kissing a model James Bond Aston Martin as a youngster before finally losing his virginity to a neighbor's Volkswagen Beetle. Edward Smith. This nigga reaching out lovingly to an attack helicopter.
Attack helicopter. Kissing.
That's a nigga right there.
Yeah, kissing it.
You know what? That might be his montage, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's just all his different, yeah.
This nigga has a montage of him, you know, I guess his past relationship with an attack helicopter.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Anyway, moving right along. Yep, that's his scrapbook. Lover's scrapbook. Edward shows off past conquests, including a helicopter. It's so real, everybody. He said every kid that age awakens to their libidinal energy. But with me, it was secret, intense, and different to say the least. I know some people will see it as weird.
Of course.
I don't. I don't get it. What's weird about this? You know, he's just different. He's very creative. I know some people will see it as weird, but there are a lot of weird things in this world. I'm not hurting anybody, and I don't intend to hurt anyone. Edward has only slept with one woman who he had a one-night stand with in San Francisco, but it had little impact on him.
And she probably regrets
I was about to say, it probably had very little impact on her, at least in a good way. He admits to being tempted to stray sometimes, but added, I know better now than to pursue other people's private property without permission. So is he insinuating?
He wanna smash your car, bro.
Yeah, you know. I got an 88 Brougham and I got an 85 Brougham. You know what I'm saying? He's saying he knows better now than to pursue other people's private property without permission. Number one, who the fuck ever gave this nigga permission to go and fondle their vehicle? Who? And how did he learn this lesson now? Not to pursue other people's private property without permission.
He's 60 some odd.
How did he learn that lesson?
He figured it out on his own.
Yeah. I bet he definitely figured it out on his own, didn't he?
Nothing being made right now, brother. Not right now. Someone asked me about a film. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. We're making a movie right now. Edward Smith.
By Edward Smith.
He admits to being tempted to stray sometimes, but added, I know better now than to pursue other people's private property without permission. I will not deny that I look at other cars on TV or at TV shows and still get those old impulses and desires. But those were the early days. Now I want to settle down with Vanilla. His Volkswagen Beetle, for those who are just coming in.
Just chiming in.
You know what I'm saying? He added, "There's something about her that I can't fully express on an emotional level, except it's very powerful and very sincere. I'm never ashamed or awkward in my heart. I've never questioned myself. I just love her." You can see more of his past conquests in our gallery below. And I think we will. If you're on YouTube, you know, we'll check Edward Smith's gallery out right quick.
I'm pretty sure he supplied her.
This nigga's manly, bro.
He supplied her.
He got Lion King painted on the
Yeah,
floor.
that's obvious. There's something about Lion King as well.
I see it because it was a part of his montage. This nigga's licking his truck, his Ford Ranger, as he's wiping it down with probably turtle wax or
licking the head.
it might not be turtle wax that he's wiping it down with. I don't know. You know, feel me? I don't know. This nigga's definitely on some other shit. Again, if you're not on YouTube, you know, unfortunately, you don't get to see how estranged this motherfucker is from reality and other human beings. He's laying between two of his best bitches
in the truck. Yeah.
Yeah, two of his best bitches, Vanilla and Cinnamon. You know what I mean? he cuddle up between the front wheel hubs of both of those vehicles.
Right? And that's their boobs.
Oh shit, he got a custom Chevy 10. Wow, good for him, man. That's a 1970 something.
That's his old joint.
Yeah, that's his old joint. You know what I mean?
That's the Cougar.
What do you think he did with a guitar?
Who knows?
He has a picture with a guitar, guys.
Looking like a knockoff Beetle.
Crazy, man. Yeah, this nigga's wild. Yeah, these are the early days. He's getting his fingers ready. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get him strong.
I'm telling everybody right now, nigga, I will kink shame you. Cause sometimes, there has to be a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Alright? There fucking has to be.
Yeah.
You know?
There should be. There should be. You know?
Yeah, he on some different shit. Why is he with all these people?
And
what's the point?
Always lions. Always lions
Mm-hmm.
and, you know.
Interesting. Not really. So, to that, I may read this.
Well, go to the
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check the movie.
Since
out
we're
right
on
now.
it.
Mecha Files. Yeah.
If you've already been following us and we're talking about Mecha Files, Mechafeminism, or whatever, you just heard Antonio read that article, and I know your eyebrow raised up, and you were like, "Yo, that's crazy," blah blah blah. But we here at the show, Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking, we always talk about how media affects us.
Yep.
And people don't realize that, you know, a lot of this stuff is movements, man. It's agenda based. And last year, if I'm correct,
that's good.
in Cannes, the movie that won
both of y'all niggas is wild.
Palme d'Or, the highest reward, the highest award you can win with Cannes,
Mm-hmm.
was a film based on mechaphilia. And if you're on YouTube, you can go up and see what we have going on there. This chick almost literally touching herself, masturbating on top of the hood of a car.
It's not just any car. It's actually a Cadillac.
It's a Cadillac.
I am a Cadillac man. I don't know.
Cadillac file?
I don't know. I might, you know, any fucking way. Real quick. Lady Muse said Hot Wheels. Fucking hilarious. This nigga Eric, you whore who stole your catalytic converter. And from Eric again, brake line bust. She just squirted. You know.
Anyway, this film, you know, we're just briefly touching on it. It won the Palme d'Or.
As it should.
And in the film, they talk about that she gets raped by the car or something like that. She has sex with the car. She ends up having a baby. That's, you know, the wild thing about it is that it was directed by a woman. And had a man did this, just bringing up a point, you know, he would have got attacked. He would have got attacked.
Probably.
But the stupidity of the fact that this fucking film actually won Palme d'Or and no one really said anything lets you know the bubbling under in regards to what's going on with society. That's the point I wanted to make. You know, that's the point that I wanted to make, that people actually watched that film and thought it was entertaining. As ludicrous as that whole storyline is, a woman has sex with a car and then has a baby. Sick, man. And then this is the title. It says review, Ultra Sex and Violence Aside. Now think about that. There's a lot of sex and violence. The Cannes winning Titanic is a surprisingly sweet love story.
A surprisingly sweet love story between a white bitch
and a
Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's not even a good paint job.
Yeah. So it wasn't last year. It was 2021. We don't even have to read it. I just wanted to bring that up.
You know.
Yeah.
I could run down it quick.
Sure, go for it.
Not long into the French shocker Titanic, 7-year-old Alexia is involved in a car accident that cracks her head open like a cantaloupe. She emerges from this trauma with a permanent grudge against her father, bad dad, worst driver, and a large titanium plate surgically embedded in her skull. That plate is temporarily held in place by a metal brace that frames Alexia's noggin like a halo, or perhaps a crown of thorns. Either way, the religious imagery is surely no accident. What the fuck? Did they just try to equate that to Jesus?
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I'm not even religious. That was fucking strange.
Yeah.
Wait, nigga, they're bringing the Chevelle back? Hey, man. They supposed to be bringing the Chevelle back. I don't know. Philias accepted. Anyway, that was strange. I don't know why the fuck they tried to equate that to Jesus's. Anyway, in the hands of writer-director Julia, I'm not saying her last name, this knowingly transgressive horror odyssey is both nativity story
and passion
play.
There you go. Yeah, that's a big deal.
A tale of the old flesh being bent and broken as it gives birth to the Cronenbergian.
Cronenberg, because it's based on Cronenberg. He was the horror. He's a horror icon director.
The biblical allusions don't end there. An oil-slicked, neon-drenched gender and fender-bending vroom-gasm of a movie. Who the fuck wrote this? Titanic also sometimes suggests a cheerfully deranged riff on the parable of the prodigal son. It follows the adult Alexia as she goes on a wild rampage, ditching one father only to be pulled into another's embrace. This is crazy.
It is sick.
If that sounds sentimental, fear not. The gospel according to the lady who wrote it, yeah, whatever, doesn't let anyone off the hook so easily, the audience included. The movie's first half hour is a chain reaction pileup of sadistic violence, nearly all of it meted out by Alexia, a prodigious serial killer. What? Nigga, is this about her in the car or what?
It gets worse.
An promising arsonist who likes to stab her victims through the ear with her hair stick? What the fuck is a hair stick?
This one, the Palme d'Or. This one, it won the most
prestigious all over
award.
The place, nigga. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Nah, that's crazy, man. Thanks for the update. I will be looking out for the new Chevelle. In a very regular fashion.
Just to drive it.
Yeah, I would like to drive the car. I will not be joyriding. I don't know. This shit is weird. Alexia's habit of penetrating human heads with metal. She isn't picky about the heads, whether they belong to a female lover or a male harasser, suggests a sexually charged need to reenact her own vehicular trauma. It's not the only such example. I would bet you watching this movie, it is not clear the way that they're
no, of course not
describing this.
They're telling their definition of what they saw.
Of what happened.
Yeah.
Wow. Suggests a sexually charged need to reenact her own vehicular trauma. It's not the only such example. Alexia says almost nothing throughout the movie, but her demons are as apparent as the spirally surgical scars above her ear. By night, she dons fishnet tights and dances as a car model, twerking atop a handsome vintage Cadillac for the drooling delectation of men. that public come on is a mere warm-up for what happens in private. Cue Titane's most attention-grabbing scene in which Alexia proceeds to have sex with, not in, but with the aforementioned Cadillac.
How is that even possible, man? What the hell, man?
Here I'll offer a clarifying word or two on the mechanics of the act. Even if the movie leaves them either mercifully or disappointingly vague, the caddy, it should be noted, does not honk if it's horny. It simply turns on the headlights. Oh, this Cadillac is alive in this movie. This is crazy, nigga. I really don't get it, man. Perhaps it can KDRX 4. They need to add something less common, but still a known of car for such auto enthusiasts such as myself, like a Barracuda. No, I agree with that. Barracudas are nice. Perhaps it can magically turn into a real snake and bite the riders along for the poisoning ride. Weird as fuck. Leave the Cadillac out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I agree. I'm a Cadillac man. Fuck that. This is hella weird, man. I don't get it. The caddy, it should be noted, does not honk if it's horny. It simply turns on the headlights, emits a few come hither rumbles, and waits as Alexia straps herself into the back seat and initiates her own frenzied joyride. Sans lubricant, muffler, or shock absorber. Soon it becomes clear that Alexia is pregnant from this mechaphile fling, a development that calls forth some of de Cornell's most memorably appalling images, from the rapid prosthetic swell of Alexia's belly to the steady black drip of motor oil from multiple orifices. It's not clear whether she's having a boy or a grill. Grille is their pun. Cars, you know.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, nigga, this is a long ass article. This is stupid. I don't think I'm gonna. Are we done? Are we moving on? What time is this? 8:42. I guess I could. Let's see how much worse it gets. Terror bad. Maybe I could have led with a spoiler warning. Yep. That was definitely a spoiler for all of us who were gonna leave this show and go and watch that movie. And by spoiler, I don't mean to imply any untoward activities involving the car's rear wing. Then again, you may have already read a thing or two about Titane a few months ago when it premiered at Cannes. Oh, it premiered there. That's crazy.
And it won. Palme d'Or.
That's wild. Where it generated walkouts, hoots of laughter, and waves of social media shock and awe. Plus scattered reports of fainting and vomiting. The usual hallmarks, in other words, of a calculated film festival outrage. But unlike past Cannes scandal seekers, like whatever...
Lars von Trier's Antichrist, Gaspar Noé's Irreversible, which is wild film, yeah. And most saliently,
David Cronenberg's masterpiece of automotive anti-erotica, Crash. Mm-hmm. Titane conquered more than it divided. Critics were largely seduced. The jury awarded the film the Palme d'Or, making de Cornell only the second woman director after Jane Campion for 1993's The Piano to receive the festival's highest honor.
So this woman took a film about another woman having sex with a car and getting pregnant by the car.
Which is insane.
To France.
The motor oil running through.
Right. And
people
people sat there and watched it and judged it and thought it was the best film of the festival. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, anyway, fuck this article. You know, this white woman is on some different shit. I think we all get the point.
Right.
Moving on, let's look at this list of paraphilias. For those who are currently in attendance, if you weren't here earlier, philia is the exact opposite of a phobia. A phobia is an irrational fear of something. A philia is something that is an irrational love, affinity, or affection for something. Mm-hmm. All right? List of paraphilias. Paraphilias, just a moment, are sexual interests in objects, situations, or individuals that are atypical. The American Psychiatric Association, in its Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, 5th edition, draws a distinction between paraphilias, which it describes as atypical sexual interests, and paraphilic disorders, which additionally require the experience of distress, impairment in functioning, and or the desire to act on them with a non-consenting person. Some paraphilias have more than one term to describe them, and some terms overlap with others. Paraphilias without DSM codes listed come under DSM 302.9, paraphilia not otherwise specified. In his 2008 book on sexual pathologies, Anil Agrawal compiled a list of 547 terms describing paraphilic sexual interests. He cautioned, however, that not all these paraphilias have necessarily been seen in clinical setups. This may not be because they do not exist, but because they are so innocuous, they are never brought to the notice of clinicians or dismissed by them. Like allergies, sexual arousal may occur from anything under the sun, including the sun. That's a wild statement.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very wild statement.
Mm-hmm. Sexual arousal may occur from anything under the sun, including the sun.
That's a very wide-spanning generalization.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
That's actually a big biblical phrase.
Yeah. But that's insane.
Because King Solomon says, I've done everything there is to do under the sun.
Correct. Most of the following names for paraphilias, constructed in the 19th and especially 20th centuries from Greek and Latin roots, are used in medical contexts only. Well, let's look at a couple of these. Good. I'm so glad they put the focus of interest there. Abasiophilia, people with impaired mobility. The focus of erotic interest is with people who have impaired mobility. So niggas in wheelchairs and shit. Niggas with crutches. You know what I mean?
So that's it's actually abasiophilia.
Yeah, basically. My bad. Whatever.
You can, your wheelchair is just...
Yeah, that's a crazy wheelchair. I want to ride.
I want to ride that. You want to ride me? No, your wheelchair.
I just want to. Can I sit in y'all's lap? I don't know. Anyway, a
chrotomophilia.
People with amputations.
I've seen people
who are irrationally attracted to that kind of shit. Deformities and such.
Yeah, they love it. They're like, ooh. Yeah, I had a friend, he smashed a chick that had a withered hand.
Listen, man.
And we will always go up to him and go,
yeah, give him that weird ass touch. That nigga from what is that, Scary Movie 2? Fucking with the mashed potatoes and shit.
Oh wow.
That's insane, man. Fucking hilarious. Alright, what's next? They got agalmatophilia, statues, mannequins, and immobility.
Well, listen, does that fall
shit they can't move?
But
or inanimate objects.
I mean, but every now and then you get guys who tell the chick like, don't move, right? And does that fall?
I don't know. It's a lot of shit that I'm not into. I don't know.
Statues.
I don't know what these niggas are
doing. Well, mannequins. That movie. There was an old movie called Mannequin. Back in the 90s, well, 80s, late 80s, mid to late 80s. A movie called Mannequin. Andrew so and so. I can't remember his name, but that's why that was like that. He said, "There's a lot."
I'm just looking.
There's a lot.
It's a long ass list.
It is. You can start even at the bottom.
If you Google paraphilia, because we're not gonna read all of these.
No, there's no way. Wow. One said.
I mean, we do got an hour.
One said. One said sexual attraction to cuss words. Did you see it? It just said that.
Well, maybe I'll read the focus of interest, because I'm not about to try to read all of these fucking names. Let's just read all of the different interests. Let's do that. And if you want to know what the fuck it is, then you go read the list and find the word.
Yeah, because
if it's wild enough, I'll read the word.
Some of these are yeah. It's I mean they're recognizable.
You know what is funny, because there are a lot of from some of the shit I'm seeing on here. There's a lot of dark web channels that focus on a lot of this shit. I'll tell the story about that if we got time. But anyway, people with amputations, and this is the focus of erotic interest. I'm not gonna read the words unless it's wild enough. All right. The focus of romantic or erotic interest is trans men, attraction by young men to older women.
Well, you missed the pain. Pain.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Pain, particularly involving an erogenous zone. So people who probably like to get their balls and dick and shit stomped
and
on.
pinched, all that stuff.
You know, needles and whatever.
Well, hold on. It says it differs from machoism.
Masochism.
Masochism, excuse me.
As there is a biologically different interpretation of the intense sensation rather than a subjective interpretation. Well, people who like masochism aren't really looking to have their genitals fucking mutilated and shit.
Not at all.
You know,
Not
they more so might want to get slapped and deal with candle wax.
That's more of the gray, the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But getting nigga, you not about to walk on me, bitch.
Well, you know,
I'm not doing that.
Them videos pop up every now and then with a chick that with wearing the heels kicking the dude, and he's like, oh,
You know, by definition. Well, I guess which definition are we going with? The definition of pain or the definition of the eroticism here, the paraphilia? You said a little cock and ball torture never hurt anyone. I guess it doesn't hurt the niggas that like it.
I guess. Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Anyway, trans men, attraction by young men to older women, raping and then cannibalizing another person.
This is, I'm sorry, just to stop you, but when we say trans men now, that's more of an acceptable form of a normative relationship. So it's not they're taking
it's still a paraphilia,
right? But they're taking it and they're normalizing it to where you're feeling
an example of something that they want to normalize.
Yeah. Attraction by young men to older women, that's another thing. I mean, some guys like cougars, right?
I mean, you know.
I mean, unless we're talking about a serious... I mean, Cher just had... Remember we talked about Cher? I mean...
But that nigga, he wasn't worried about her as he
about the money.
Come on.
Yeah.
We know what that nigga did. He doing what I would have did. And if you say you wouldn't have did it, well, I don't know. I don't trust you. Attraction by younger men to older women, raping and then cannibalizing another person. That's some dark web shit. Ingesting human flesh, being an amputee. So this is somebody who will cut their own shit off, which is insane.
That's crazy.
Being asphyxiated or strangled. Hey.
See, that's becoming, right? You see what I'm saying?
That's more of a...
Yeah.
So I wonder what's the difference between a paraphilia and a kink.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
You know, I know what y'all like out there. Being asphyxiated or strangled. You know, a little bit of choking. Maybe there's a difference between that and light choking during sex. Who knows?
Well,
maybe they're talking about I put the pillow over the bitch's face.
The belt. You know, the guys had the belt.
All of that,
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying? You know.
I wonder how much of this falls under BDSM.
That's
bondage, domination, and I forget what the S and the M stand for. But
what's going on, Sage? Yeah. Well, see, look, they just same thing. Yeah, that's all of that.
Anyway, where was I at? Being asphyxiated or strangled. People with one or more physical disabilities.
Does that fall under what they had said? Yeah.
Maybe.
Abasiophilia.
Yeah. Being on stage or on camera. Attention whores. Or is it they're getting turned on because of the attention of the camera? Right.
Yeah, that's something different. Because most people don't like having attention on them. So the person being on stage and on camera, if they're getting aroused,
because they're on camera.
Yeah, that's something different.
That's some sort of mental erogenous zone or some kind of shit, a spiritual erogenous zone. I don't know. It's other real.
This is crazy.
Where am I at?
Being on stage or on camera.
Being in life-threatening situations. So basically like a fucking, what do they call them? Them crazy bitches that fly somewhere not knowing a motherfucker and you know what I'm saying? Thank you, I thought so. Yes, it was sadomasochism. Bondage, domination, and sadomasochism, BDSM.
But life-threatening
What you know?
situations, she can't wait. She can't wait for a bank robbery.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The bitch, they fly somewhere not knowing who the motherfucker is, hoping that he might get her a room or whatever. Or those bitches who go over to Dubai and get shitted on and all of that kind of shit. You know, whatever the fuck they do for like $11,000.
You're like, I hope somebody come in and shoot up the store. Hey, you just joking, right?
Wow. Self-induced asphyxiation, sometimes to the point of near unconsciousness.
Okay, so that's the difference.
I don't know if I was not sexually attracted to this, but when I was on the Panama schedule in the military, working 12-hour shifts, I could not fall asleep. So I would sleep like this with my head under the pillow and the cover over because it would somewhat cut off my air enough just to make me pass out. I had to get sleep. I was fucking dying on night shift, nigga. Now that's not. This was not no erotic bullshit because I would never let a woman choke me.
That's a difference.
You know, I figured out a way to fall asleep. All right.
That's like somebody, but you can say, yo, you gotta put that choke on me. Like, don't stop.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that, nigga. That's weird. You know. But I'm assuming that it's along those lines. There must be people out there doing what I was doing, but they're like.
But it's sexual.
They getting crazy with it and shit.
That's how that actor had killed himself. He was found with a belt around his neck, hanging from the closet.
You know, and that's cool. Let's not bash autoerotic asphyxiation. All right, nigga, please. Where the fuck was self-induced asphyxiation? Sometimes to the point of near unconsciousness, which is autoerotic asphyxiation. Controversial term. Oh, you must be reading the list, nigga. You must be. I think he's reading the list.
That's good. Supposedly.
Thanks for the help, man.
Yeah.
Listen, controversial term intended to refer to sexual arousal of a biological male in response to the image of themselves as female. Nigga, that's crazy, nigga. Autogynephilia.
Yeah, but I've heard that before.
I've seen those niggas. What is it, like Strange Hobbies or whatever on TLC? And them niggas, they got whole pageants of dressing up and they're not drag. They're a type of drag queen. But instead of them doing the makeup and shit, they got rubber suits that look like females, and they stuff themselves in the rubber suits, and they all go and have their little weird ass drag event with rubber titties and rubber face and hair and all of this dumb shit. It's wild, nigga. That shit is crazy. I know somebody else seen that shit on TLC.
We are still in the A's.
Yeah, man, my bad. You know, we gonna get through it, but goddamn. Autogynephilia, a controversial term intended to refer to sexual arousal of a biological male in response to the image of themselves as female.
That's image.
So they probably on the internet with them, them face apps that change you to a bitch or whatever, and make you old and all of that. They do.
That's how they bust.
They go and get them apps and shit and turn their face.
Real quick, my guys, my side is about to cut off. I'm going to reset up again. So if I get disconnected, look for me to get back on. The show is getting really, really funny and wild.
Yeah, this is about to get insane.
Yeah, but we'll keep going until this is...
Autogynephilia, and then autoandrophilia, controversial term intended to refer to sexual arousal of a biological female in response to the image of themselves as a male.
So the root word.
How many of y'all bitches out there putting on fitted caps and looking in the mirror or doing selfie thing on your phone?
There's some girls that do.
And you know what I'm saying? I know what y'all do.
Yeah,
I get it.
Girls that do.
Yeah, nigga, time to tuck the sack back. Chill out, bro. Where we at? Auto. God damn.
Hemo. It's pronounced.
Hemofetishism. Yeah. Bleeding oneself. Does not involve ingestion of blood. Type of hematolagnia. Or telagnia?
Yeah, it's
whatever.
Telagnia.
That's actually a TikTok trend. What's a TikTok trend? Niggas hiding their balls or whatever.
Really?
Anyway, that's why I don't be on TikTok. I'm not with this new shit. Autohomoeroticism, the image of oneself in the form of a gay male. So it's niggas jacking off. They're not gay, but they make themselves look gay or whatever, and then they jack off.
In their mind, whatever.
Or they get gay, they dress up like a fag, and then go have sex with their bitch, whatever. I get it. Not really. The image of oneself in the form of a lesbian female. All right. We're getting somewhere, I think. Not really. Gender swapping to see if you're attractive is the trend on TikTok. like I said, you know, I'm not one of these new niggas. I don't do whatever they do on TikTok and all of that. I don't have time for that, man. I was raised by niggas that grew up in the 20s, so, you know, it's a lot I know how to do with this new age shit concerning technology, but as far as these different trends and challenges and weird shit these kids be doing on the internet, man, for a view, I don't fuck with that. I'm from the streets, nigga. You feel me? Where we at? Oh, that's crazy. The image of one's self in the form of a serial killer, the image of oneself in the form of an infant, you know, that's kind of familiar. You've seen weird ass shit like that in porn and whatever. And the image of oneself in the form of a child, that's crazy. The image of oneself in the form of a plush, which is like a Beanie Baby type of shit or something, like a teddy bear. That turns me on when I dress up as a teddy bear.
Well, I mean, look, man, we see it in hip hop when you have, you know, Kanye made it very popular to have, and you see it now, the big head teddy bears and stuff on stage, you know, and it's all, to me, it all falls into pedophilia or something.
So, and we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I ain't even went there yet.
Yeah.
That's gonna be towards the last half hour of the show. We're gonna really talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Where we at? The image of oneself in the form of a serial killer, in the form of an infant, in the form of a child, in the form of a teddy bear or plush. A sexual fetish that involves people swimming, posing, or even drowning in water.
Why don't you go out even deeper, just drown?
Yeah, they got like 30 something foot joints for the Navy or and the Marines when they going through basic training. Hell yeah, or Special Forces. They got like 30 something foot deep pools and shit.
It's probably because of the power of the water, the depth of the water. That, you know, who knows?
No,
the emptiness.
I'll never know. The image of oneself in the form of a vampire involves ingesting or seeing one's own blood. Auto-vampirism.
That's very popular now.
Yeah, that is very popular. That's been popular. White people love that kind of shit. Show me the Loch Ness Monster. The image of oneself in the form of an animal. Autozoophilia. Yeah, that's them weird ass niggas. Too, yeah. Biascophilia or raptophilia. Raping a person. Possibly consensual rape fantasy.
Yeah, that's weird.
So why don't they have two different words? You know, I think that should be distinctive. I've met a lot of women who are into that kind of shit, but that's just something I could never get with it. You know, I had my experiences dealing with that kind of shit as a kid, and almost everybody I know dealt with that kind of shit as a kid. So
why would you want to put that?
Just to even try to reenact that as a
you
know. Not to use an SJW term, but it's a little triggering, you know. But I will grab your neck. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're into. Smoking, I've seen that. They like getting the cigarette burns on them and the smoke blowing in their face and all of that kind of wild.
I don't even like the smell of it.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Cremastistophilia? Being robbed or held up. Oh man, this is such a good time. Wait, let me, you know.
They need to
mind if I touch myself?
They need to go to the hood. What would be so cool is somebody who's got that phobia and the little young black guys is out there robbing and all of a sudden they're like, what the the hell you like this? Yeah, just come on, stick the gun in my face more.
Motherfucker pull out what is it, the fleshlight?
Yeah.
No, put the gun right here.
Right here.
Anyway, partners of a widely different chronological age. Chronophilia. That's
the same as the
that's age play.
Yeah.
But then again, hold on. Wildly different chronological
So that
age.
means almost by 100 years in a sense, huh?
What about the motherfuckers who like kids?
Yeah, right. That's what that falls into. Yeah.
I would say that they fall under the same bullshit.
Yeah. Claudia said the anime porn with cartoon characters is surprisingly popular. You're right.
It's not surprisingly popular. It's very popular.
I think it should only be real people in the porn.
I'll say this. I have not met a woman yet, to my knowledge, that is not into that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They like to see the monsters, and because women are pretty deviant by nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not saying.
Well, nowadays they
You
would
know.
call it experimental, or what's the word when women's are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use those more.
They're progressive.
Yeah. You gotta be progressive. Yeah, and liberal. You have to be liberal. You know.
Said you ever been to a funeral with a mariachi band? Way off topic, but that was some nigga. Come on, man. Because y'all niggas, Mexican Eric and Lady Muse have found each other. We'll come back to that. Feces, also known as scat, scatophilia or fecophilia.
That's gross, man.
I'm cool on that, cuz.
But isn't that like groceries eating the? You know what I mean? Eating the butt. Wouldn't that fall under that?
Nigga, actually eating feces?
Yeah, no, I mean that's disgusting. But I'm just saying.
I'm assuming they're like on some ice cream cone type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, nigga.
Maybe there's gonna be another one where they talk about buttphilia or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
Anophilia.
more. Legs, infidelity. Oh, the cuckolding fetish.
Hey, I want to go to legs for a second because there's a word that's popping out to me, the root word, crurophilia, which you look at Cruella de Vil.
Leg fetishism or crurophilia is the sexual fetish for legs. Individuals may experience a sexual attraction to a particular area, such as the thighs, knees, or calves. Crurophilia is often connected to other fetishes with regards to preferences in attire. People with the leg fetish may desire.
Now listen. The reason why I'm saying this is because Disney is the start of a lot of this stuff. When you look at the word Cruella de Vil, it's supposed to be cruel devil.
Yeah.
But I always thought that there was something more to it because when you watch the cartoon character, the Disney character Cruella de Vil, they focus a lot on how her legs are in a lot of the shots.
You know what? So,
you understand what I'm saying?
So this is on some niggas who like getting feet pictures and.
Well, I'm taking it deep, and it's important that you see this. Punch in Cruella de Vil on another tab, so you can see how it's instigated to us at a very young age. And when you look at Cruella de Vil, you see how her legs look? There's shots, if you go to the images, there's shots where they really focus a lot on her legs. So that would make a lot more sense. See the stockings? Go back up. Bam. See that?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that would make a lot more sense. It's not just about her being cruel as much as it goes into the whole thing. See that? See those pictures?
Yeah.
Right.
Costumes.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it? So it would say as children we were instituted into this bullshit.
Yeah.
As children, man, it goes back. Disney has been on it for a long time.
I got a lot of subliminal imaging.
A lot of it.
And messaging.
A lot of it. So me seeing that, I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. But tears or crying, which is dacrophilia.
Well, you gotta go back up. Cuckolding.
Oh yeah, I did. Infidelity.
Infidelity?
Yeah, infidelity is the cuckolding fetish, which you don't know what that is. Well, you know, the niggas who watch other niggas fuck they bitch and all of that, and then they over in the corner jacking off or whatever.
Enjoying the moment.
You know, that's they into. I get it. Not really. Tears or crying. Diapers. Considerable overlap with paraphilic infantilism. Sure, we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But it's diaper fetishism. Mm-hmm. Trees. I've seen that. They got articles on that crazy shit. Mm-hmm. A metaphilia, or whatever. Vomit. Flatulence. I know we didn't all came across some weird shit like that watching porn. You bitches that like farting in bowls or whatever the fuck.
Gross, man.
Erotic asphyxiation, asphyxia of oneself or others. Murder, often of strangers, also known as dacnolagnomania. Jesus. Erotophonophilia.
Well, why do they put exhibitionism down there? It's not a philia as much
Technically,
as
it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Exposing one's genitals to unsuspecting and non-consenting others? Maybe. I don't, whatever. Eating, feeding, and weight gain. Yeah, you done seen them niggas. They got them niggas on the TLC channel. Them niggas fall in love with making they bitches fatter or whatever. Fictional characters, so fictophilia. Being crawled on by insects, that's wild. That would not turn me on. Turning a human being into a piece of furniture? What? Forniphilia. Rubbing against a non-consenting person.
They do that all the time.
Frotteurism, yeah, them motherfuckers. Weird motherfuckers about to come up to me. Oh, Jesus Christ! You been in the gym, bro? You know, all that
women get rubbed against in public places.
Nearly fall the fuck out, having an orgasm.
Yeah. Elderly
people, gerontophilia, transgender women. No thanks. Drinking or looking at blood. Idealization of heterosexuality and or people who are straight acting, especially by non-heterosexual people. What non-heterosexual people? Well, you know what? Maybe that's gay people's role play. They go in the bedroom and pretend to be straight.
It says heterophilia.
Yes,
that doesn't make any sense. Like the idealization of heterosexual. So they've changed.
It's people who are straight acting, not people who are straight. It says especially by non-heterosexual people. So people who are LGBTQS,
perhaps, but it's saying that a person idealizes heterosexuality.
Yeah,
heterosexuality is a normative thing. It shouldn't be something that you have to idealize.
If you're gay, it is something that you have to idealize.
Then that's where it changes into a philia. Yes.
So now we talking about gay motherfuckers going in the bedroom and being like, yeah, say some heterosexual shit to me. You know, I'm call me the wife or something. I don't know. You know, whatever that shit the studs and the soft bitch do. They probably trade places for the night. I don't know. Firearms.
That's very popular.
Where did I just see that at?
That's very popular.
That show.
Yes, beef.
The bitch was having sex with the nigga's gun.
In the bathroom. She's
having sex with dude's gun on that show.
So it happens a lot. Because the gun symbolizes a power symbol is power.
Yeah. Criminals, particularly those who committed cruel or outrageous crimes.
But then that means there's a lot of black women. There's a lot of black women.
That's women in general, man. All women go through some sort of bad boy phase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or they wait for they're corresponding with this guy in prison.
Yep, that kind of shit.
You know,
and then also
murderers and
the women who do their best to dress their sons up as the type of men that they don't like.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? The bad boys and making them little young gangsters and all of that shit. Does she look good as a lamp? Y'all wild. Pedophilia. Infantophilia is the paraphilia, and the focus of erotic interest is pedophilia with a focus on children less than 5 years old. But a recently suggested term that is not in general use.
See, they're looking to split that up.
Which it's all the same. You're fucking with kids. There is no split on that. You're fucking with kids.
But that's part of the agenda. You know what I mean? Because that's what NAMBLA.
I'm sure we're gonna be hearing a lot more about that shit. Stealing, also known as kleptophilia. You get turned on by stealing shit.
There's people out.
I don't know, man. If I was robbing banks, I probably would get turned on.
The rush of it.
Getting me a cool little meal here and there. You know, that would make me excited. I wouldn't have sex with the money though.
Or during the moment.
Hell no. Enemas. Arousal and enjoyment in receiving, administering, or both.
Get that enema going.
All right. Clismophilia. Breast milk. Lactophilia.
I've heard of that.
That's wild.
Yep.
Liquidophilia. Immersing genitals in liquids.
If you know anything about
put it in some hot grease.
The Boys, they had it on their first season. They talked about lactophilia.
Yep. Oh yeah, the
breast milk.
What's the Homelander? He was into that weird shit with the old bitch. Giant beings. The imagined growth of beings. Imagine, so you're imagining that they're growing? Like taller, or they're getting more ripped, or what's Let's see.
Macrophilia.
I do enjoy milk and cookies. Chill, bro. What is that? Macrophilia.
Giant beings.
A fascination with or a sexual fantasy involving giants, most commonly expressed as giantesses, as well as giant objects. It is typically believed to be a male fantasy with the male playing the smaller part. However, people with any background can have it.
Mm.
All right. Tale of the 50-foot woman.
Mm-hmm.
Armpits. I've seen that. Female breasts. Masophilia. You know what I mean? What can I say? I like both.
Yeah, but I mean, is that really, you know, is that...
Is it a paraphilia?
Yeah, I mean...
But remember, it's an irrational attraction to. So, I don't know, this nigga might be wearing titty hats or some shit. Breast fetishism is a highly atypical sexual interest consisting of an exclusive focus on female breasts, which is a type of partialism. The term breast fetishism is also used in the non-paraphilic sense to refer to cultural attention to female breasts and the sexuality they represent. So it's somebody who's irrationally attracted.
There's a lot of cats. I mean, I said you like a lot.
Like we're talking about an obsession.
Yeah, we
right?
love butt. Niggas are butts. I mean, that was.
But I'm not letting no bitch come sit on me because she got a big ass and whatever. I'm not doing that. I think that's
There's
irrational.
a lot of guys that would.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. So that's what makes it a paraphilia. Remember, it's the irrational attraction to.
Yeah, and that's where I'm starting to have the
Which I would say motherfuckers who go and pay for pussy. I don't know.
Right, you see what I'm saying?
I think that's borderlining
prostitution.
Irrationalism.
Is it, you know?
Or irrationality.
I mean, if someone has a strong sexual libido and they need it consistently and they know that...
there might be a word for that too. Oh, well, there is a word. That's nympho. Suffering or humiliation. Being beaten, bound, or otherwise abused. Pregnant women, cars or other machines, also mecophilia. Music, menstruation. Wow.
Melolagnia, music.
People having
turned on by music.
I don't like music being played when I'm having sex, but you know there are whatever.
Yeah, but it would be a philia for that person on their own, pretty much. You wouldn't have some.
I don't know. It might be a whole thing. Who knows?
Menstruation.
Poetry, shrunken beings, the imagined shrinking of beings.
Yeah, let me ask you a question though. But if somebody's into the menstruations because they're just nasty or they can't have sex unless it's just menstruation.
Remember, it's the irrational attraction to. They prefer that way. That means that they really, really like that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck around like that. Particular body shapes or sizes. Mucus, that's gross, nigga.
Morphophilia.
That's hella gross. Dirtiness, soiled or decaying things.
That's close to necrophilia.
Damn near.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking no dirty bitch. Obscene words.
They had that in
Erodophilia?
Yeah, they had that with my man. The girl said, "Tell me some dirty words."
Oh yeah. Noses, the navel, corpses, necrophilia. Yeah. We've all heard that one. Specific inanimate objects, objectophilia. Eyes and activities directly relating to and or involving the eyes. Voyeurism does not meet classification for this term. Oculophilia. So somebody who's sexually like they want to lick your eyeball. They want to put their dick in your eye or some shit. Or rub. She want to grind on your eyeball. Biting or being bitten. I guess. Smells and odors emanating from the body, that's wild, nigga. Especially the sexual areas and or from the opposite sex, as from bad breath, urine, feces, flatulence. So it's the wild shit. It's not like, oh, great perfume. You know what I'm saying? It's on some other shit. Arousal from having a full bladder and or wetting oneself, or from seeing someone else experiencing a full bladder and or wetting themselves. That's crazy.
It's almost like Amorosa, the name.
Omarashi.
Omarashi.
Yeah, I'm cool on that. You better not piss in my bed, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Dressing or being treated like a baby, also known as autonepiophilia, or adult baby syndrome. Considerable overlap with diaper fetishism. But it is the same fucking shit. It ain't no overlap, nigga.
Yeah.
Y'all wearing diapers and putting bibs and collars and shit on
talking like
a motherfucker pretending to be a kid and feeding them bottles and all kind of shit.
That's crazy.
What else is it?
Partialism.
Or specific non-genital body parts. Fingers. Wow, great hands. You know what? I've been told by a considerable amount of women that I have very nice. I have memorable looking hands.
Take care of them, man.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Did you learn that in the military or before you got to the military? Because I mean,
no, my dad was always serious about grooming, man. Because he's a mechanic, so he's like, man, I gotta
get that dirt from under.
Yeah, keep your shit together. Since I was a kid, man, I used to cut my sister's fingernails and shit. Cause I'm like, man, what are you like, nigga? We gotta be clean. What the fuck is y'all doing? Anyway, people, typically attractive women, needing assistance with automobiles, especially from getting stuck in mud. Oh, so like
pedal pumping.
Wait. So needing assistance with so it has to be
that turns on.
So they like to see.
They set it up.
So does it matter who's helping them, or
no?
Is this with men, or
no? It doesn't matter. It's like
they like the attention they're in.
It sounds like the hero. What do you call it?
Damsel in distress.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was thinking. So like, does it have to be a dude or like whatever the fuck is going on?
Turns them on.
Help me, step bro. My car is stuck. Prepubescent children. Pedophilia. Exposing one's penis. I don't know. Pedictophilia. Dressing like a child. Pedovestism. Weird. That's a fucking pedophile. Feet. I don't fuck with. Podophilia. Pornography or erotic art, particularly pictures. Piercing the flesh of another person, most commonly by stabbing or cutting the body with sharp objects. I thought it said stuffed by. I was like, whoa. Stuffed toy animals, plushophilia. Pigophilia or pygophilia?
You said it, yeah, buttocks. The butt,
yeah. Soiling or dirtying others, that's gross. Non-living objects, inflicting pain on others, shoes, especially high heels, sleeping or unconscious people, that's rapey.
Mm-hmm. Very rapey.
I've met women that they were into that kind of shit, and I just, I couldn't fuck with that, nigga. Learning, sophophilia, interesting.
So we have that philia, bro. You have to admit it. Like I'm just.
I don't have an irrational. It doesn't turn me on to learn, nigga. That means you're. I'm like, oh, okay, well, great medical dictionary, and I'm like jacking off. I'm not doing that, nigga.
How many times have we used the phrase during Bojuka, like, oh man, that shit make my dick hard?
But that is a silly ass joke that I first heard from my sensei. He said, if fighting don't make your dick get hard, don't come here on Friday.
So it's just the euphemism.
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 I think it's hyperbole. It's supposed to be funny. I'm not literally like, oh God, are we fighting today, guys? Somebody, let me pull my dick out because we're in here fighting.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah, hell.
My man said, how did cunnilingus become a thing?
Hey, listen, you know what I mean?
He's like, he said a fetish is normal. Cunnilingus is not a fetish, I don't think.
I think some things are expected between two consenting.
Of course,
adults,
of course.
Adult persons.
Yeah, of course. Rational. That's the whole difference. Rational, irrational.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And you've been saying that consistently.
But then when it gets weird, where it's like this nigga got foam fingers about the shit that they weird about, and I was going too far.
Sexual sin is the only sin that harms the soul as well. So you would have to understand what we're just saying. You're kind of piggybacking off of it.
Yeah.
Two consenting adults. If your husband and the wife are together and they decide to do something, does that make it a sin? Does it make it a sin? The difference between what we're talking about is
technically is,
Well,
it's not supposed to happen.
Well,
but what is sodomy?
Right.
A dick basically going anywhere other than the vagina.
Right. And is that a sin, or is that two consenting adults who are married making that decision? So that's where it becomes a problem.
That's my religion.
Yeah, mental and physical stimulation. What is the difference?
Says I guess it's all about where we draw the line on what's really considered weird.
Right.
And they're trying to eliminate the line, is what I think.
Yes, because that's what we're headed to in the next, next segment.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. Let me get through this. Where we at? Oh, learning. Sophophilia. I am not a sophophilia. I will not pull my dick out because I'm reading a great book or somebody's teaching me a new backspin or, whatever. Muscles and displays of strength. Body piercings and tattoos. Witnessing or staging disasters such as car accidents. I've met crazy motherfuckers like that. Obscene phone calls, particularly to strangers, also known as telephonicophilia and scatophilia. I thought scatophilia was the eating dookie or whatever.
Right.
Wherever that was at.
But scat, meaning like how you scat with
yeah.
rapping or the word scat,
I get that. Deformed or monstrous people. The term is also sometimes used in a more literal sense from ancient Greek, meaning monster for attraction of monstrous, mythical, or fictional creatures such as werewolves. So the motherfuckers who watch that anime porn. Mm-hmm. But there's a name for that, isn't it? What is it called? I know one of y'all niggas know. What is the attraction of anime? Or what's the name for anime porn? I fucking forget. Touching an unsuspecting, non-consenting person with the hand. Toucherism. Archery. Oh God, this is such a great bow and arrow. Hentai is the name. I knew it was something.
Hentai, yeah. And Bodies by Christ. Hey, you said it's based on what God says is a sin, not the two humans. But then you have to define what is a sin.
Right.
So talk to me after the show, and I'll help you understand that.
Hey, on a serious note, fool, get with me. Teach me subnetting, because I could not figure that shit out, or I didn't dedicate enough time to it. Teach me subnetting, please. Recurrent and intense sexual arousal from cross-dressing, which causes clinically significant distress or impairment. Wow. A cross-dressing sexual partner. Transvestophilia. Transvestic fetishism. Hair. Trichophilia. Observing one's partner engage in sexual activities with another person, which is basically, the cuckoldism or whatever.
Troialism.
Urination, particularly in public, on others, and or being urinated on, also referred to as water sports.
Yeah, they literally that's what they call it.
No thanks. Bitch, again, if you pee on me, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a talk, nigga.
Yes and no.
Nah, I'm cool, bro. I a lot of people talk about the anime movement. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fight stuff. That's fight
Pokemon,
stuff. Yeah, fight stuff.
And
stuff dealing with
Digimon.
Fights.
That's about where and Sailor Moon. That's where anime ended for me. I'm not interested in
and Akira. Yeah. You ever seen Akira?
No. Like I said,
y'all forgive him. It's okay. He doesn't watch a lot of stuff.
Nigga, anime just ended with those 8 that I just named.
He'll watch Akira and trust that.
I don't know. We'll see. As long as
Akira and bubblegum.
The attraction to all of that shit got too weird.
Yeah. But that's the new stuff. The old stuff.
Well, I mean the people though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fans.
Yeah.
Once it became weird, I was like, yeah, I'm a regular nigga, bro. I'm not doing that. The idea of one person or creature eating or being eaten by another, usually swallowed whole in one piece, also known as vor. Whatever. Watching others while naked or having sex, voyeurism. Generally without their knowledge, also known as scopophilia or scopophilia and scoptophilia, whatever. Wet and messy fetishism. Messy situations, including but not limited to being pied, slimed, or covered in mud. So the mud wrestling, pudding fights, or whatever the fuck, all of that kind of shit. Attraction to non-human animals and inflicting
pain on animals.
Inflicting pain on animals or seeing animals in pain.
That's horrible.
Zoo sadism. Oh. That's wild. And I'm sure that this ain't even close to, all of the weird shit that motherfuckers be doing out there. But anyway, so not real quick. This is the last segment. This is the whole reason for this show. Hopefully, FBI, CIA don't hit me because I'm not one of these kind of niggas. All of these philias. The reason I wanted to talk about this tonight is because I like to cut through the bullshit of things, and to me, this term is or that root word suffix, right? That suffix is being used as some sort of tool to euphemize indecency, right? These people are coming up with words to describe, to kind of take focus off what the reality of what it is that they're actually doing is. Which is, nigga, you doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah, they want
pedophilia.
They want to normalize
infantophilia and you know, all of that kind of shit. Excuse me. Young niggas are into kids. That's it. Ain't no baby fetish, ain't no age, chronophilia, none of that bullshit. You are just into children, and it is not okay. So, if you're on YouTube, you see what we talking about, or you know, we got Google Chrome up and all of that. Minor attracted person, a map. That's the word. Now, I don't know when they came up with this wild shit, but maybe the Wikipedia page will tell us. I learned about this word, you know, I'll be on YouTube and Reddit and all these different sites just studying, seeing what the fuck people are talking about. And I came across this. There's a whole fucking thing for these weird ass niggas. And they're a minor attracted person.
Well, the whole thing is that they're working, and you have NAMBLA, which is the greatest part of what's going on in this movement.
Actually, I'm gonna open these up.
And they're looking to normalize and make it
relationships between grown men and little boys.
Kids, period.
Yeah, children to adults, period.
Yeah.
Man, what's going on with my nigga Ralph, man? But minor attracted person, a map. That's what they've coined it. It says coined to serve as an umbrella term for nepiophiles, pedophiles, hebophiles, and ephebophiles.
Yeah.
Minor attracted person, euphemistic. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
It's a fucking euphemism for bullshit. Non-standard, a pedophile, including all of the prior terms. Usage notes. Use is commonly interpreted as a sign that the speaker supports or is sympathetic to such people. Use is highly controversial. A professor at Old Dominion University in the United States who advocated for the destigmatization of pedophiles as minor attracted persons was placed on administrative leave and resigned. Thank you. I'm glad they did that, because that's bullshit.
They got on his ass.
What the fuck is no map? It ain't gonna pop up. I'll look. We know what the fuck a map is. So, you know, I wanted to call attention to that, because I understand, you know, they look to desensitize us to a lot of this crazy bullshit that's going on.
Listen,
I'm not with it.
The problem becomes parents.
They're not paying enough attention.
And they're arrogant in the fact that they feel like, not my child.
Yeah,
it's no different than people thinking that they will never ever be in a car accident my dog will never attack anyone.
Yep.
I'll never be raped.
Yep.
I'll never be assaulted. You know what I'm saying? All of it's not mine until it becomes yours. And children are very, very vulnerable creatures, man.
Yeah. I don't believe you have to worry about everything, but I do think that you should at the very least acknowledge the possibility of any reality.
That's called being prepared.
You know?
That's called being prepared.
Contingency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, contingency is taking it a step further. That's actually like, all right, let me get a game plan for when this happens. But no, at the very least, you should acknowledge, okay, this exists.
So let me take
this could somehow enter my life. Let me say, you know,
let me do all I can to make it
to keep this shit out of my life.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Let me read ephebophile. So what the fuck is ephebophilia? Ephebophilia, a sexual preference for adolescent boys. I did not know that.
It's all the same.
Yeah, that wasn't even on that other one, was it?
It's all the same.
Primary adult sexual attraction towards late pubescent or post-pubescent adolescents. Weird ass niggas.
You know,
so that includes motherfuckers who are dating 16, 17, 15-year-old motherfuckers, and you know they just call it grooming, but really, nigga, you know you hung around till legal age. Yeah. It's fucking weird, 60, bro.
Yeah.
That's hella weird. You don't do that shit.
They used to call them chicken hawks back in the day.
Yep.
I did chicken hawks. And go back because there was another word that you have to bring into this mix, and it's called pederast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pederally and all of that
pederasty,
shit. Pederasty.
Yes. Pederast.
A man who is engaged in an erotic relationship with an adolescent boy, a practitioner of pederasty. You know what I'm saying? The term pederast has sometimes been incorrectly used to describe men sexually involved with prepubescent girls or child rapists who do not have any ongoing relationship with the child. For an adult fixated on only sexual involvement with prepubescent children, or for heterosexual child eroticism, pedophile is used instead. Note that pedophile and pedophilia refer only to the desire, not to the act. So pedophiles are not necessarily sexually involved with children. The female equivalent is a chorophile. Nigga,
I mean, it just goes and goes and goes.
So that's my point, is they want to break this down into so many different sects and you know, they want to give us too many fucking ways to identify this. Too many different ways to be distracted when discussing this. We don't need 7 million fucking words to go, this nigga's weird, bro. He fucks with kids.
Yeah. Because giving all those different words makes it to where it's like, well, it's not so bad because it's not this.
I don't need to know nothing else. The nigga fucks with kids, man. Whether that be a male or a female, or any of them other motherfuckers, the trans and you know, and androgynous motherfuckers, all of that bullshit. A hebephile. The fuck is a hebephile? Person? Yeah, obviously a person. A sexual preference for adolescent girls. Why do we need to call it so many different things? Let the shit be exactly what the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's sick. No
this nigga is a pedophile.
Yeah.
We don't need a million. Well, he only thought about it. Well, nigga, if he was standing there jacking his dick in the corner to some fucking kid, put this nigga up under the prison. Fuck that.
It would be no different.
It means nothing for him at some point.
The Bible says, if you looked on a woman and thought about it, then you've already
did it, nigga.
Yeah, so kids,
your thoughts are your reality.
Why do we wait for someone to throw the match on the gasoline? Gasoline is already there. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Why are there smaller distinctions for the large umbrella term pedophile? Again, they want to confuse us. They want to distract us. They want the weird motherfuckers, and these are the weird motherfuckers who are creating this bullshit.
Yes.
They want to be able to have more of a conversation with us to try to.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
To try to you know, wordsmith their way, wiggle through some shit, and at the end of the day, no, nigga, you fuck with kids. You like kids, you're a problem.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says. There will never be a way to over-explain this, to over-understand this kind of shit. There's nothing to understand. This is not a science project. We don't need to know, you know, what makes him so charismatic. How did he... You know, how did this become something that he got involved with or she got involved with, and this is their lifestyle, and you know, they're creating coloring books for other pedophiles who are into this shit, but they haven't acted on it yet. It don't need to go that far. Stop the shit at the fucking source, nigga. You interested in that shit, bro? We got a problem. No, you're not accepted in society. No, we shouldn't have clinics for you. No, we shouldn't have therapists who specialize in the mindset that has you fucking around.
Yeah, because they're a risk.
There's something wrong with you, nigga. There's not gonna be no magic button that we can press or some kind of fucking serum that we give these motherfuckers and they stop being interested in. No, fuck all of that, man. Hebephilia, Kara, and all of that bull, nigga. It's a fucking pedophile.
Well, the problem becomes the thing is when you're looking at the history of basically the cultures that are instituted into other cultures. That behavior becomes normative because those who are at the top were part of that behavior. So they're the ones that undercover kind of make the laws and open up things and, you know, make it to where, you know, it's not so bad, you know. It's horrible, man.
Infantophile, also the nepophile. A pedophile who is sexually attracted. Notice they keep saying a pedophile, which means it's all under the same fucking umbrella. Stop trying to branch out these terms, nigga. These niggas is weird. This is what they like to do. They like fucking kids. Attracted to infants and other very young children, generally aged 0 to 4. Let me tell you something, nigga. I'm gonna have kids one day. Let me find out.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I got a kid who ain't even crawling yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a motherfucker attracted to that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to be desensitized to that. I'm supposed to be understanding to that. I should be like, oh, well, nigga, they got groups for you, bruh. They got something for you out there to help you get over this,
No.
whatever it is that you dealing with. Them weird ass, them child sex dolls that they created for these motherfuckers.
That's the whole reason why I won't.
It's fucking weird, nigga.
You know.
That shit is weird. And there is no way around this shit. All of these different words, a pedophile is a fucking pedophile. That's it. We just talked about this and we didn't even know that this was open.
Right.
Nigga, a no-map, a non-offending minor attracted person, a pedophile, hebephile, or a febophile who does not engage in child sexual abuse, the consumption of child porn, nor other child sex offenses. Why is it not an offense to be a pedophile? By definition, you're interested in this shit. Why does that not make you a fucking flight risk?
Well, because once it gets towards the end of the sentence, you see what they're doing. They're saying, well, you didn't engage in it.
Yeah. No other,
You didn't consume any of the porn.
But he's still a fucking pedophile. There is no room at my table for a motherfucker who likes looking at kids.
And how would anybody know unless something is said?
Well, they're gonna create this whole fucking thing that envelops and says this is who these people are. We need to be thankful for them, but them other ones who have already did it.
Right. Yeah, you guys are right about them.
Who's gonna be the fucking law for the motherfuckers who aren't no maps, and then they finally slip?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Where is the line in the sand for them?
Right.
They think a little 2-year-old is sexy or whatever the fuck they're attracted to.
Well,
they don't do nothing.
Let's get to that because we had a previous show where we showed how they dressed the little girls up in the Daisy Dukes. And this is in the black community.
They have a whole, I don't remember.
White community's been doing it for a while. Black community, we've always had it undercover.
Mm-hmm.
You know
it's
what
supposed
I mean?
to be taboo, but fuck that, man. We gotta put that shit on the table and talk about it.
Yeah, and we saw that photo of the mother dressing her child up like she's some kind of sex kitten at a little age wearing Daisy Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
she was like a 4 or 5-year-old kid.
Ashamed of yourself, man.
And the crazy people in the comments, why are you guys looking at her body like that? What parent puts their child's body out there for the fucking world to see? You're supposed to protect your child's likeness.
So you can't say anything about the fact that the parent is doing.
If there's something wrong with this parent dressing this young lady like a tramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a problem. Just like this nigga, my mom and dad did not let me. I can't sag. I can't have. I wasn't wearing the shit that the rappers was wearing. I couldn't do none of that shit. None of that shit. Cause I said, nigga, I'm supposed to let you walk to school with your sisters and you get shot in the head or some bullshit over mistaken identity because you dress like the rest of these niggas and you try to be like what all of these motherfuckers are being. For what? You're not old enough. We'll let you do that when you're old enough to make that decision. Do what you want when you're 18. Right now, nigga, up under this roof and you walk, nigga, no, fuck all of that. You're supposed to stop that shit. It's just ridiculous. This needs to be talked about more often. Jail time is needed. Absolutely, jail time. It makes no sense. Again, nigga, we don't need all of these, extra terms. We don't need any superlatives of what a pedophile is. It's just a pedophile.
Right, bottom line, yeah.
Oh, he's interested? Stone him.
Yeah.
Put him up under the prison. Whatever. But get this nigga out of the general population.
Sure.
There should be no. There should be
put them on an island somewhere.
No confusion, no thin line.
For all the Democrats and liberals and all of the bleeding heart people who, that person deserves to live, put them somewhere else. Because if
I think sympathizers should be locked up with that.
Listen, you put them in prison, they're gonna get killed. They're called short eyes in prison. They call them short eyes. It's the old phrase.
That's the old one, and for chomos.
Yeah, that's another one.
Chomos, child molesters.
Child molesters, yeah. So they will get killed. They don't live.
Or take them kids because the parents do need to lose their kids, and any of the sympathizers with all of that kind of shit, they should be locked up.
Sure.
I personally don't believe that there's any way to
monitor.
Not even that. What is the word? Fucking. Goddamn. People go to therapy to.
Yeah, there's no therapy for it.
There is no way to fix these people.
No, because you know why? It's been a long time that people didn't know that this person thought that way. Because
rehabilitate. There's no way to rehabilitate these people.
A lot of them.
There's no way to rehabilitate them, their supporters, their sympathizers, anything of the like, anyone adjacent. I don't think there should be room. You know, even the parents who figure out that somebody in the family did something to their kids and they want to sweep it under the rug.
Right, they should be held accountable.
And still let that motherfucker run.
Right, yeah.
Everybody involved, nigga.
Yeah.
Everybody involved.
Yeah. Well, the problem becomes, the thing is once the essence of born that way was entered into the populace thought process, it opened up a floodgate of things like that. Because now NAMBLA and all these other people are out there working on.
They're working on normalizing this shit, making it okay. And
that's why it goes back to what I said about the parents. The parents thinking, well, not my child. Well, what are you doing for legislation? What are you doing to show that you have an issue with that? How are you fighting against what's coming? Because it's coming.
Oh shit. Yeah, this is what we were looking for. So lastly, not a no map, an actual map, a pedophile. That's how they wrote it. Just a pedophile, and it says euphemistic. And if you don't know what a euphemism is when you, or to euphemize is when you try to say what it is that you actually mean in a less offensive manner. So instead of saying fuck you, some people will go
frick you.
Nice hat. They're actually, you know, and that's really dumbing it down. That's taking it very far down. Hell of a euphemism. Great shoes. They actually don't like anything about you.
Right.
They shake your hand and smile in your face. They're euphemizing their emotions. You know what I'm saying? Euphemisms are a very dangerous thing in today's time. And all of us need to be very cognizant of what the fuck is going on concerning this shit.
Well, you know, the thing is the word cognizant is correct. You have to be aware. Even if you don't have children, I'm very aware of stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Nigga, I teach kids. I'm not doing nothing where there ain't no cameras at. Or, if nigga, you better be right here if I'm teaching your kid, or I'm doing it at a public park where everybody can see. I don't do privates with kids, none of that shit. That is not how it's ever gonna be operated. Fuck that. I don't hug kids, nigga. I shake the little kids' hands. That's about as far as it'll go. I don't do none of that stuff. It's fucking weird. Picking kids up and all of that kind of shit. My mom never ever played none of that shit, man, when I was a kid.
Well, and parents are guilty for it because they'll be like, you can hold my kid and kiss them and all that.
No. I can fuck with an adult person, kiss a baby if that's not their parent.
I've always said, I don't want to hold your kids.
I'm cool.
I'm good.
I'm the exact same fucking way, man. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to hold your kids.
I refuse to do that. You know? Use is commonly interpreted, because I just want to read this again, a minor attractive person, a map. Use is commonly interpreted as a sign that the speaker supports or is sympathetic to such people. Use is highly controversial. A professor at Old Dominion University in the United States who advocated for the destigmatization of pedophiles as minor attracted persons was placed on administrative leave and then resigned.
Who was he?
I don't even fuck him. You know, now he's not the only supporter out there. He's not the only sympathizer out there. There's plenty of those fucking people. Down here, one of these two.
Yep.
Yeah. Alan Walker. Alan Walker is the professor in Virginia who did that weird shit. You know, to even suggest, you know, progression, to be progressive, even, you know, that is even being taken too far.
Let's make sure, because that could be a female. And that's important to know.
Interesting, yeah, it is. I agree with that.
You know?
No, it's a nigga.
He looked weird.
He looks weird, though. He had a YouTube page.
And that was in 2021.
That's wild, nigga. Yeah, hell no, man.
He said, go back down. From my perspective, there is no morality or immorality. Wow. Attached to attraction to anyone because no one can control who they're attracted to at all.
We got 5 minutes. I'm going to just go ahead and read the whole article. Fuck that.
These are the people running your kids'
colleges and elementaries and middle schools and high schools. Remember, they got pageants. They're fucking drag queens and cross dressers and
coming in
trannies and all of this kind of shit coming to these schools, twerking with the kids and all of this kind of weird shit. Like, how are y'all not tracking on this shit?
Books that are being instituted to your kids, man.
All kind of shit. A university professor who advocated for the destigmatization of pedophiles as minor attracted persons has been placed on leave after the controversy disrupted the campus. Dr. Alan Walker, an assistant professor in sociology and criminal justice at Virginia's Old Dominion University, sparked intense criticism online and protests on campus after suggesting it is not immoral to be sexually attracted to minors. What a fucking assertion. Jesus. The comments during an interview with child protection organization Protege Foundation went viral after being shared by the Libs of TikTok Twitter account. We don't have time to look at that, but we're definitely going to look at that afterwards. Dr. Walker said the phrase minor attracted person, or MAP, carried less stigma than the term pedophile, adding that having an attraction to minors doesn't mean the person is doing something wrong, as long as it isn't acted on. Fuck that. I would not want no weird ass nigga that's into that shit being around me, number one, or my children if I had any. And if I knew that a motherfucker like that was coming to an event where there were kids or something, nigga, we nipping that in the bud right there. This nigga cannot be here. From my perspective, there's no morality or immorality attached to attraction to anyone because no one can control who they're attracted to at all, Dr. Walker said. In other words, it's not who we're attracted to that's either okay or not okay. It's our behaviors in responding to that attraction that are either okay or not okay. Dr. Walker was discussing the book A Long Dark Shadow, Minor Attracted People in Their Pursuit of Dignity, a bestseller on Amazon.com. So why is he interested in this? What does that say about him?
Yeah, there's a lot.
What the fuck is he interested in? Who is buying this book, nigga? We want to talk about the government being able to do certain shit. Yeah. Go find everybody who bought that fucking book, nigga.
And thought that was,
Put them niggas in jail. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. That and anybody all the niggas involved in getting that shit published, all of that shit. The university's president, Brian O'Hempfield, said in a statement that reactions to Dr. Walker's research and book had led to concerns for the safety of the professor. Wow. That's crazy. So that's why he's put on leave?
Right.
That's wild. Furthermore, the controversy over Dr. Walker's research has disrupted the campus and community environment and is interfering with the institution's mission of teaching and learning, the statement said. The actions we are taking today are motivated by our obligation to maintain a safe and conducive learning environment for our students, faculty, and staff. Before Dr. Walker's leave of absence, protesters marched on the university carrying signs saying pedophilia is not a sexuality and the chance of protect our youth. They called for an end to the sexualization of children and demanded in chalk graffiti that the university fire Allen.
Fire his ass.
Absolutely. The suspension came after the university initially defended Dr. Walker's comments as part of the quest for knowledge. I was going to say, this is some of that
sociology,
pseudo-philosopher, pseudo-intellectual bullshit. Defended Dr. Walker's comments as part of the quest for knowledge that may involve controversial issues and perspectives. I embarked on this research in hopes of gaining understanding of a group that previously has not been studied in order to identify ways to protect children, Dr. Walker said in a statement. The way to protect the children from motherfuckers like this is stop trying to give them a way out. Why don't they get longer life sentences, or longer sentencing than motherfuckers who are murderers?
Right. Yeah.
I think pedophilia is worse than murder.
It is. It is.
You're not taking someone's life, but you are putting something on their life for the entirety of their time that they have on this planet that they'll never forget. You never ever fuck with the innocence of a child, man.
You crushed it. Yeah, crushed the innocence,
people's fucking the innocence of a child, a young lady, a young man. You never ever. That's theirs to do with as they please. Their innocence, I believe, is more important than their virginity.
Yeah, of course.
Let a child be a child, man. Whatever, man, I don't have enough time to continue. We down to the last 5 minutes, man. But fuck, leave these fucking kids alone, man.
Yeah, it just seems like society has gotten to a point, man, where, they've destructed everything else. The kids are the last. And that's what they're headed for now. That's why I will not have children. That's the choice that I've made. And I pray for parents, man. I pray for parents and anyone that's dealing with helping with the development of children. Because it's the world is the threat. You see what I'm saying? It's the world that's the threat. Yeah, you have bad parents and you have scenarios and, I call them demon kids, reprobate kids that are problems.
Reprobates, yep.
You don't even get a fighting chance if at a baby's age, someone's messing with you and they feel that that's normal, that they have the right to be that way. It's crazy. I think Antonio said a lot tonight, and I think a lot of you out there need to inform yourself. That way you have the knowledge in which to be able to help prevent things and to be more cognizant, that's the word, of seeing stuff develop. Yep. Pay attention, especially pay attention to kids, man. They're still learning to communicate, so they can't tell you that somebody's doing it. And listen, what happened to me as a kid, I was threatened. So, kids don't understand that a threat, may or may not come with that consequence. They think that all threats come with consequence. Yeah. They don't think, I think this person is bluffing. They don't have that, they don't have that liberty. So, their sensitivity is used against them. Somebody saying, hey, I'll kill your parents if you tell them. They believe that.
Yes, they do.
They buy it. So, again, at the beginning of the show, we talked about basically how our show is going to be. We will be doing our last show of the season this Thursday. Make sure you tune in, catch us, and up to that point, have a great one. I'm exhausted because this type of stuff. This type of stuff exhausts me, but we got through it tonight. I appreciate you guys. Oh man, we gotta go back to
Oh yeah, shit, I ain't even click. I just, man, my bad.
Alright, let's get back to no ticker. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully you guys learned a lot tonight and you enjoyed the show. And we really appreciate you guys joining us when you join us. It's not a show without having everybody to be a part of it.
Thank you, everyone who supports.
Shout out to our day ones, Lady Muse, Claudia, Joe Moten, if you're watching, shout out to you as well. And make sure you catch us on Thursday, Pop Culture Night, and we'll probably be talking a little bit about martial arts as well.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
All right, y'all, everybody.
Have a great one.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Muscles on this lonely path. I stay calm and fat. I've been on the grind so long, hoes can never call me that. Please keep it short. I don't speak for all the rap. I'm your mechanic. I don't want no parts of whack. Keep throwing darts and wax. I'ma melt you. Every beat got a birthday. I just make it special. If you came to wrestle, maybe we can do that. Chat and bring the doses and show you where your shoes at. Exactly where the proof at. I ain't gotta prove stats. I don't need the hookup. I've been staying straight from where the news at. Life-size showdown. Story I survived. Made them live remote down. Painting what I wrote down. I imagine it. I'm a rope canvas.